Breaking news with Based and Bougie. So, guys, Tommy's situation in jail just seems to be getting worse, and this should be an embarrassment of our country and our political state. Um, the United Kingdom was built on democracy, it was built on freedom of speech. And now we are having people in prison for Facebook posts. We're having people sitting in solitary confinement, as in he's sitting in the same jail as terrorists because he released a documentary. This is insane. But before I begin, guys, you guys already know the drill. If you guys are looking for cute jewelry, you can use this code and you can click the link in the bio. For anyone who's not aware of Tommy Robinson, well, the whole world knows him, but if you want to know just how badly the situation is, it first started out with them putting Tommy Robinson in a jail that is predominantly Muslim. Now, we all know majority Muslims do not like Tommy Robinson because he's very outspoken on the things that he disagrees with Islam. And because of that, he has a lot of hate from the Muslim community. Now, they put him in a jail that's predominantly Muslim. Not only Muslim, but most of these people, they're like jihadis and terrorists. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they put his life in danger like that? The second thing that they done is they decided to put him in solitary confinement. Do you guys understand what solitary confinement is? I'm going to set an image of what it is. It's like you're in a box. You're in a box. You're in there for like, God knows, a year, 2 years. Some people have been there for 20 years. No human contact. No human contact. No, jailmate or anyone you can talk to. You can't even leave the cell. And this is because he released a documentary. That solitary confinement is supposed to go to people who are rapists, who are terrorists. But it went to a journalist. Even I'm scared. As a journalist, I'm starting to get scared. The second thing that they've done is that people who deciding to visit Tommy Robinson now have to sign NDAs, meaning non-disclosure agreements. You cannot publicize anything that was discussed.
In my hand is a non-disclosure agreement, otherwise known as an NDA, sent to me by the governor of His Majesty's Prison, Woodhill. And this document pertains to a planned visit with Stephen Yaxley Lennon, also known as Tommy Robinson, who is currently serving a sentence in solitary confinement.
And hello, Hearts of Oak. I'm here with Gerard Batten, and we are here at HMP Woodhill, the prison that Tommy Robinson is jailed for 18 months for contempt of court. Now, there are things we can't say. Gerard, what can we not say?
Well, I don't think we can say anything, actually. We had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which if we hadn't signed it, we couldn't see him. And we don't want to break it because then they would stop us coming in to see him again.
Here's Woodhill Prison, and here is an NDA to tell me that as my personal visit to Tommy Robinson, I'm not allowed to tell you what's going on. He is in there because people were gagging him. So this is the NDA. This is what we think about the NDA. We are not having it.
Hold on. If Tommy Robinson is such a criminal, if he's such a terrorist, if he's such a racist, if he's such a far-right neo-Nazi thug, surely we should be allowed to expose that, right? Surely we should be allowed to go out of our way and expose it. What do you have to hide? But because he's not, and because he speaks the truth, that's why people are getting NDAs. It's just becoming all too obvious that Tommy Robinson, something is being hidden here. And I think people are waking up to it. And that's another thing the establishment is not realizing, is that the more they are making the treatment of Tommy Robinson worse, the more people are waking up and saying, hold on, wait, what's going on? And when he comes out, he's going to come out a hero. The second thing that they done is that they anyone who had a social media account cannot go and visit, a large social media following cannot go and cannot go and visit Tommy Robinson.
Just received an email from the prison. My visit to see Tommy tomorrow has been refused. So what can I say? I thought it might be coming, but very disappointed. They're saying that my visit might be used on social media.
Now it appears through a letter I've just seen from a friend of mine who was going to see Tommy. His meeting has now been canceled, and the letter states that he is no longer going to be able to see Tommy because he may use details from that meeting on his social media. So they're not allowing people to even see Tommy, not even offering the NDA to folks. And these are folks who are willing to sign an NDA. Now they're saying you just can't come see him because there's a potential for you to perhaps share some of the information from the meeting.
I actually wanted to visit him for just simply interviewing him and reporting to you guys his condition. And the day I messaged the team, that was the day they decided that if you have a social media account, you cannot go and visit him. Which again is so contradictory, because if he's such a racist thug, a neo-Nazi, a terrorist, why can't I go and expose it? Let me go in there and expose it. But because he's not, that's why they have to do these things. And again, it's becoming more and more obvious. I mean, they think that they are tarnishing his reputation by doing this, but they're actually bringing more awareness to this. That's why you're seeing so many Americans, they're like, hold on, because it doesn't make sense. It just
But guess what? This is the byproduct of being too naive and saying, yeah, it's okay, being too tolerant. Now you experience this. And the most beautiful thing about what's going on over there, and it's so tragic when you hear stories like this with the kids, but the most incredible thing that's happening right now is people who were once supportive of it are now saying, whoa, listen, you crossed the line.
That Britain decided to basically sacrifice thousands, if not tens of thousands of its own children on the altar of multiculturalism demonstrates a sickness at the heart of the civilization that has to be healed.
Here's my thing, Pat. Two questions. Why is it racist for pointing out what is happening? Number one. Number two, why the cover-up? Why the cover-up, Tom, from these people that are in charge that don't want to come out and say it? Just say what it is. Say what's doing it.
It's not just the grooming gangs, it's the cover-up. It's the fact that you got arrested for reporting it, that they want to actually put the words grooming gang on a kind of no-say list, that they put people in prison for pointing out what's happening, but not for actually doing it. It's a real problem.
I mean, I think it's terrible. I think President Trump should first call, I can't remember your prime minister's name, he's such a loser, call him and demand him from the release from prison. And if not, I think we need to use every diplomatic channel possible, including potentially even terror threats to get people out of jail for being political prisoners.
This is the second most distressing part of the story. The most distressing part is what actually happened. But just below that is the fact that we are only talking about this now. This has been going on for decades.
That's what happens when a naive, demented, and self-righteous multiculturalism takes the upper hand, and when the upper class is willing to sacrifice the poor to their own moral presumptions. Yeah, it's appalling in every possible way. So, and it indicates, it's indicative of something truly hideous.
It just doesn't make sense how the West, that was built on democracy, freedom of speech, individual liberty, being able to express yourself, essentially that's what democracy is, and you're being jailed for it. The world is waking up. And they banned phone calls and emails. So I believe for like 3 weeks now, Tommy Robinson has not been receiving any phone calls, emails at all. They even banned his family from seeing him. Now, this was the one that hurt me the most, because Tommy Robinson strikes me as someone who cares for his family a lot. Well, of course you would, but he strikes me, the way he fights for his country, you can see that the love he has for his children is a lot more than any other parent, because he's literally put himself on the line for the future of his children. And now he can't see them, he can't speak to them for releasing a documentary. Are we living in Syria? Are we living in Afghanistan? Are we living in 1980s Tanzania? Like, what is this country? And then recently it's come out that they have stopped giving him food, and he hasn't eaten for a week. Guys, this absolutely broke my heart, because the last time I saw Tommy Robinson was in summer. This was during the March. He looked so happy, he looked so healthy, and I can't imagine what he must look like now that he hasn't eaten for a week. Like, this is torture. They are torturing him, guys. Let me read the statement from admin. So HMP Woodhill will continue to refuse to give Tommy access to the canteen. He is unable to stock up on tinned food so he can actually eat. They are forcing him into starvation. Tomorrow's visits have been cancelled, even though the prison governor assured Tommy the visitation would go ahead on Friday. Tommy has only just found out through a call to a family member who has spoke to him on the phone. The visitation was planned in 2 weeks ago. An email was sent to a family member today at 1:30 confirming the cancellation of the visit. They're starving him. Like, what is this? Even if you hate Tommy Robinson, you have to agree that this is inhumane. And I think this was because I cannot find the post, but I think it's because he was speaking to a family member on the phone. That's why they decided to go harsh on him. There's something else I wanted to share. Yeah, here's the post. So it said, I have just been contacted by Aig Fogg, chair of Free Press Society. She confirms, as in the video, Tommy Robinson has lost weight and looks frail. He looks like when he was previously released. I'm going to show you a picture when he was previously released. In fact, I'm going to insert his clip. I think he was interviewed by Tucker Carlson.
After winning an appeal, Tommy Robinson joins us now for his first and only interview. Tommy Robinson, thank you very much for agreeing to talk to us. I know that you've spent the last 2.5 months by yourself in a cell, so you're probably feeling a little bit bewildered to be out.
It says he has the same expression in his eyes. He tries to stay in shape by working out, but looks far more healthy. Although not a psychiatrist, what worried us most was his expression. I have known people with depression. He appears to be suffering from the condition. He has trouble starting conversation. He has a formal and polite despite knowing each other well. He had trouble starting conversations, but at the end he was getting used to us and was getting was getting into gear. Aya is a keen advocate of the rule of the law, but rightly brings Tommy's condition to the world's attention. Tommy cannot tolerate the isolation much longer. Things are going down here rapidly. This makes me sad, man. This truly makes me sad because I don't even like to sit in my room for too long. Like, if I sit in my room for too long, I will get depressed. He's been there for a couple of months, just in a box. I can't imagine the mental torture. And by them doing this, they are essentially protecting the child abusers. It just hit me. They are protecting the child abusers. The people who have been grooming these young girls, they are protecting them by throwing Tommy Robinson into jail. The establishment that decided to fake this whole story about the Syrian boy, which is a form of abuse, they completely ruined that young white boy's life by creating this story that he was a bully. They are protecting them. Like, what is this world that we're living in? What is this world that we're living in? We're living in a very cruel and evil world. It makes me so uncomfortable. And what's so funny is that I had a friend who has never really been a fan of Tommy Robinson, and he's never really liked the fact that I support Tommy Robinson. But when I sent him the admin post, he was like, wow, I think I might start supporting him, because he knew this is not okay. Say what you want about him, his height, his looks, his opinions, but ask yourself, does it make sense to put someone in solitary confinement, starve them for a week for releasing a documentary? I really need you guys to understand, this is not just a threat to Tommy Robinson. This is a threat to all of us, especially us journalists who want to tell the truth, who want to report on what's going on in this country, especially if it's dangerous and harmful to children. We could get jailed. We could get locked up. We could be starved. This is not a democracy. This is communism. This is tyranny. I think we really need to pray for Tommy Robinson in terms of asking the Holy Spirit to guide him and to help his mind to be stronger than his flesh, because I can't imagine the physical battle that he's going through right now, being hungry, not having any social contact with anybody. Physically, he's going through a battle. I just hope he makes it out. We've seen so many horror stories of people who have actually offed themselves because it was mental torture. I don't think you guys understand solitary confinement. Not a lot of people come out of it alive. Another thing I want to say is that them torturing Tommy Robinson even more, I don't think they understand that they are actually helping Tommy Robinson's case. Because like I said, my friend who never really liked Tommy Robinson, now he does like him, because in his mind he knows this is just not just. Not only that, when Tommy Robinson does come out, he's coming out a hero. He is coming out a hero because with everything that he's been through, and he survived it, no one's going to look at Tommy Robinson and say he's a weak man. We're going to know that this man is a strong man. He's a true patriot. Okay, people are calling him the UK Nelson Mandela, which is so true. But let's pray for Tommy Robinson. Honestly, let's pray that he does not allow his flesh to defeat him. Sorry. And yeah, this is just heartbreaking. But anyways, guys, if you guys want more videos like this, like and comment. Bye, guys.
This is a letter to your wife from prison. What did you say?
To make sure they understood why I do what I do. It's me believing that the worst will come.
That you will die in jail.
The worst will come, and I want my children to know that.
And what are you telling them?
That I know by doing what I do that that moment will come. And I know that, and I've chose that.
And you want your children to know that you didn't choose it over them.
So I detailed to my wife that it's not about them. It's not about our children. It's about every child, everyone's. I'm not apologising because not for 1 minute I'm sorry for what I've done. I'm apologising for what it's caused.